of yesteryear. Friends, we are on Rosh Chodesh Kislev over here. Aleph Kislev marks the Hilula of a really great Moroccan rabbi. His name was Chacham Amram Ben Shimon, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, one of the great rabbis from Mugdor in Morocco, respectively, came from very great rabbinic heritage. His father's name was Rabbi Amram Ben Shimon. Very interesting enough. I believe he was born in the English year 1892 in the city of Mogdor in Morocco, respectively. He would actually learn under the great rabbis of this specific city in of itself at the highest level of Torah in of itself. Very, very great. At that point in time in Morocco, especially in the late 1800s, there was a very great Torah community in of itself. So he learned at a young age over there under the city rabbis, and then would eventually serve as a rabbi of the city of Mugdor, and took care of the city's needs within regards from a Torah point of view, from a spiritual point of view. He gathered various different communities all over this area and taught Torah to the throngs in public in of itself. Very, very great rabbi, and really made a huge influence within regards to Moroccan Jewry and that specific city. I believe he conversed and spoke to the rabbis of various different places. Remember, Morocco at that point in time, there were many different cities and villages that had great, strong Torah communities in of itself. And then I believe eventually when he was at the age of 60 years old, he would move to the land of Israel. Remember, especially in the early 1950s, many Jewish people from North Africa would actually make Aliyah and move to the land of Israel. He actually, his time was in Tafshin Yudaled in the year 1952, where he traveled to Israel. I believe he would settle in the city of Tiberias. Now remember, we talked about Tiberias before. It was an epic center of great Torah study. It's one of the four holy cities of Israel, along with Jerusalem, Hebron, and Tzfat, respectively. And from day and night, he would, I think, learn in the yeshiva, let's say, of a famous yeshiva in of itself, of Tzion, Rabbi Meir, who I believe was a great Rabbi Meir Vaknin in of itself. He had a great yeshiva over there in Tzfat, respectively, or in Tiberias, respectively, where he would actually learn. Rabbi Meir Vaknin, who's also another great rabbi we have spoken about on various different occasions in this series. And I believe in the year 1960, he would have been 68 years of age. I think it came out the book called Esmach in of itself, which was a book based on the Torah. And we've spoken about the great books. Many great Moroccan rabbis would publish many different books. I think that was a specific illuminated edition. It was a specific edition in of itself. I think later on in English in 1997, his grandson, Rabbi Amram Ben, who I'd assume was named after him because his name was Amram also, but I'm not 100% sure on that, actually had an illuminated edition which was published within regards to this, let's say, this wondrous book of the Asimach in of itself. Now, Rabbi Amram Ben Shimon passed away in the English year 1963. He would have been about 71 years of age at the time of passing. It was naturally Rosh Chodesh Kislev, Tafshin Chav Gimel. I believe he was buried in the city of Tiberias, and was one of the great rabbis of Morocco, of his specific area in of itself. And I would recommend everyone to learn his book, Esmach, a very, very great Torah colossal book in of itself. Learn about his family. Also, the Ben Shimon, I think, was a great rabbinic family from Morocco in his city. He really was a hands-on rabbi, did a lot, not just Torah-wise, but spiritual-wise, which was absolutely phenomenal. So please, for everyone, if you're tuning in now, subscribe to the channel. We are a community here. We're learning about many of the great Oriental and Spanish rabbis of yesteryear. Friends, we've already covered more than 500 rabbis inside this series, probably nearly 100 Moroccan rabbis already. We have explored every potential city or village we're trying to do. In Moroccan, we're trying to get the science within regards to all these great rabbis, because so much to learn from them, so much to learn from all the families of these great rabbinic dynasties in of itself. And friends, if any of you happen to be related to any of these great rabbis, please send me a message. I would love to hear more about them. We're trying to form this all into a big book, a history book of the great rabbis, probably from around the last, even up to 1,000 years over here. And Rabbi Amram Ben Shimon, very much here on this specific day of Aleph Kislev, is a great rabbi. Friends, also another thing, light candles in his memory. It's always on the yard side, or the Hilula, as we say. And many people will say also, it's a prestigious time to light candles. It's many people will do on this specific day in of itself, the yard side candles, as they call it. And just to give a word within regards to that, you could say yard side candle in a way is a memorial candle, because what is it exactly? Because why is it such a wide practice custom in itself, where many people will light candles for 24 hours on anniversary of the. Remember, it's a Hebrew calendar date. We go by when we follow a Hilula or yard site. We don't go by an English calendar date. We go by Hebrew date, and it's customary to light the candles inside one's home or near the grave of the deceased person. And I believe these candles should really be lit before sundown, because I believe there's a pasuk in Bereshit, in chapter number 1, verse number 5, and there was evening and there was morning. This is the reason why. It's also customary to light the candles, especially during a Shiva time period, which usually lasts 7 days. I'm just giving an extra, I'm not speaking specifically per se about Rabbi Amram Ben Shimon. I'm just giving why we should light candles in general. And some people might use an electric yahrzeit candle that plugs into the wall instead of a candle for safety reasons, but especially in a hospital. But most people should light really with a ner, let's just say itself. They say the custom of lighting a yahrzeit candle actually comes from the book of Mishlei, from chapter number 20, verse number 27. I'll translate it in English. It says, the soul of man is a candle of Hashem. And various different midrashic descriptions actually speaks within regards to the lighting of the candles in of itself. So that's very, very interesting. And please, everyone, it's here. We are in the Rosh Chodesh Kislev now. We are coming into the month of Hanukkah. Hanukkah is 25 days away. It's actually, in fact, it is a festival of lights, where lights overshone darkness. And this was very much what we're speaking about today. Rabbi Amram Ben Shimon was a great rabbi that brought a lot of light and a lot of Torah inside the world. So wishing you all, friends, a Shavua Tov. Just came out of Shabbat Parashat Toldot. Next week coming is Parashat Vayetze. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm wishing you all well, and blessings from Israel. Take care.